Let me prove that I am a true Star Trek fan. I am a true nerd. Okay, that was a bit weak. That was more like it. Yeah, last two videos I did, my throat was a little too full of weird gunk, making my voice annoying. And I follow it up with a cigarette, of course. Yeah, Heroes and Demons is an episode that was praised a lot by the writers of it and the director and the producers and the actors, you know, for the sets were great. They were. The costumes were great. They definitely were. The dialogue was pretty well written and the acting was great. It definitely was. You know, for me as a viewer, that episode just never did anything. It's just boring. And I absolutely understand where all the behind the scenes and in front of the camera people are coming from praising it. Like, all the individual elements are pretty good. Great sets, great costumes, great dialogue, gorgeous guest star, great acting from especially Robert Picardo, and you know, nice references to Beowulf from, you know, Naren Shankar. I'm trying my best with that. Who most people know best for The Expanse. Well, and of course, you know, being script supervisor on Next Generation. And he also works on For All Mankind. I'm going to review The Expanse and For All Mankind at some point. I loved the sci-fi seasons of The Expanse, and I mostly liked the Amazon seasons. The sci-fi seasons were perfect. The Amazon seasons were watchable. For All Mankind, I love it. I hate Apple, but Ron Moore is doing a great job on that show. I got sidetracked once again, like I do many times when I record videos. Yeah, good writing, good sets, good costumes, good acting, good dialogue. But first time I watched it when it came out, it just didn't do anything for me. Second time I watched it years later, it didn't do anything for me. It's just... The problem with the story is not that any technical aspects are at fault. It's just not very interesting. It's like a holodeck malfunction episode with some alien interference and mystery, and there's not even a B story, not even a B plot in this episode. This whole episode is just the Doctor trying to find out the mystery on the holodeck. And it's genuinely boring. I think what I've really, you know, lots of fake fans, you know, the people who love Lower Decks, the people who actually hate Star Trek but pretend to like Star Trek, hate the B plots in Star Trek. But a lot of times the B plots really save an episode that would otherwise be boring from being boring. Like, look at the Deep Space Nine episode. Like, as a classic example, the Deep Space Nine episode from season 3, Heart of Stone, which is, the female shapeshifter is testing Odo about his love for Major Kira, and it's the A story, and it's fucking terrible. But it has that B story of Nog wanting to join Starfleet, and that makes the episode worth watching. That's like for me, it's the classic example of a B story making an episode worth watching that would otherwise completely suck. So this episode, Heroes and Demons, it would really have benefited from a B plot. Like, something was, okay, Harry Kim disappeared, and Chakotay disappeared, and Tuvok disappeared. I don't know, I guess something was Tom Paris or B'Elanna Torres. Or even Kes or Neelix. Neelix didn't even appear in this episode. I think Kes made a brief appearance. I don't remember. Yeah, something like that. Some kind of, even if it was just like 5 minutes in the story, it could have, broken up this tedious storyline that is just like a holodeck malfunction because of aliens. It's just not that interesting. And like everyone involved says, the sets are great, the costumes are great, the gorgeous guest actress is great. No, number 1 from Babylon 5. The acting is great, especially from Robert Picardo. But the story is just not interesting. So I feel this is a really wasted opportunity of an episode. And a B-plot could have helped it, but it doesn't have one. So this is one of the Voyager episodes I consider skippable, which, applies to a lot of season 1, which is why back in the day I didn't watch Voyager, I only watched it years later, because, Deep Space Nine was on at the same time, and I preferred to watch Deep Space Nine and didn't want to waste my time with a show that had so many skippable episodes. Like this one. If you skip it, you're not missing anything. It's boring. Good sets, good acting, good costumes, but nothing really interesting.